Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're finally back after, like a month and a half long break. I'm Riley here with Jaden,
Hi.
Tristan,
What's up?
and Gage.
Go Hawks.
No.
I mean, let's get right into it.
Let's get
what,
right
what do
into
you
it.
have to say? What do you have to
What do I
say?
have to say? I have plenty to say, actually. I'm glad you asked me. First off, I'm representing today. If you can't see, it's an Oklahoma State University sweatshirt for the legend Barry Sanders, because the first thing I want to say is thank you, DC. Thank you, Jared Goff. Thank you, Jamal Williams. Thank you, DeAndre Swift. Thank you to the Lions organization for absolutely pulling off what everyone thought was the impossible. Every single announcer, they said Green Bay, Green Bay, Green Bay. Everyone said Green Bay, but not Seattle, not Detroit. They said Detroit, and Detroit pulled off a masterclass of a Sunday night football game to end out a season. So thank you, Detroit, is the first thing I want to say. The next thing I want to say is the NFC needs to be worried. They need to be worried. Why do they need to be worried? Everyone thought Seattle was going to be a 4-win next team. I even believe in my record predictions. I said they were 5-11, 5-12. They proved me wrong. They're going to prove the whole world wrong. They're going to walk into Levi Stadium. They're going to show Brock Purdy up, Kyle Shanahan up.
Yeah.
They're going to smack the ever-living, whatever whatever word you want to fill in the blank there. They're going to smack the crap out of Kyle Shanahan and his 49ers team, and they're going to show that they belong. They belong. And that, once again, we've already seen what happens when you write Geno off once. Let's write him off again. Please do. Please do. Seattle fans, pray that you write off Geno Smith for a second time in a row, and we'll see what happens come Saturday night in Santa Clara.
I will write him off. I'll tell you what, I'll write him off for
Write
a
him
second
off.
time.
I love it.
I will.
I love it. Let's write him off. Let's write him off. Let's write off one of the best running backs in the game. Let's
I
write
would like
off
to
one
be
of
the
best
first one to
receivers in the game.
say that the Lions should be in the playoffs over the
Yes,
Seattle.
agreed. They were the
Agreed.
best
You
team out of the
understand?
three.
You want to?
They were the best team out of the three.
And I love when people say this because guess what?
Oh,
We beat the
Seahawks
Lions.
The Seahawks beat the Lions
We
in like
beat
what,
the
week
Lions.
6 or something, week
we
7?
beat the Lions.
Before their defense got
We
good.
beat the Lions.
I'm happy for the Seahawks, but we all know that the Lions are the team that should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, we all know Tom Brady's gonna beat the Cowboys in the first
Oh
round. But
no,
we're
there's
not
no
out here just-
throwing shade. We're just not. This is just facts.
This is not facts. Geno Smith is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. He's the best quarterback in the NFC playoff right now.
You're saying
Okay.
Geno Smith is better than
Pete Carroll is the best
Jalen
coach in the
Hurts?
NFC right now.
Wait, no. Go back to this. So you're saying that Geno Smith is better than Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady? I would say Geno Smith is better than maybe Daniel Jones and
Okay,
Maybe.
I would say he is.
Okay. Aside of the jokes, let's get aside of the jokes. Okay, aside of the best.
I would
Geno's
say
a
yes,
top 5 quarterback this year, and if you're putting
Not in
That
the
would be-
NFL, he is not.
in the
If you're-
NFL,
In the NFC, maybe, but in the NFL, no. I'm not putting him in the
name,
top.
name me
NFC,
four.
yes.
Name me 4 quarterbacks better than Geno Smith.
Patrick Mahomes,
Joe
Josh
Burrow.
Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert.
No, not Joe Burrow, not Justin
Patrick
Herbert.
Mahomes. Huh?
Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts,
Josh Allen,
Josh Allen.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, but not. I wouldn't put Justin Herbert.
Patrick
Because-
Mahomes.
I wouldn't put
We
Justin
already
Herbert.
said Patrick.
I wouldn't
Mahomes.
put Justin Herbert.
I put Jared Goff over him.
Okay, guys, we're getting ridiculous. The only reason that Seattle is in the playoffs right now is because of Geno's season.
I mean, Jared Goff did lead one of the best
Guys,
offenses in the league.
Guys,
I don't know about Jared
Jamal Williams
Goff,
led
but
that
I do believe
offense.
he's good.
No, I don't know about Jared Goff, but like,
Yeah, come on,
I
let's-
mean,
let's
it's a
dude.
debate to be had.
Geno is easily top 5, easily. He will
Without
prove
being
it to you
biased.
this weekend.
Without being biased, who would y'all pick? Dak Prescott or Geno?
Geno
Geno.
Smith. No
Geno.
bias. No bias at all.
Taking Geno, Dak.
I honestly think if you put Geno on the Cowboys, they win the
Ugh.
division. And they're
I
probably going to win the
disagree.
Super Bowl.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Why would
He
you-
wouldn't succeed on the Cowboys just because of the coaching.
Yeah, you are right. The coaching is absolutely horrible.
I mean, there's Pete Carroll just knows how to use players to the best of their ability
He's a system guy, man.
well.
Carroll's also ancient time. Like that man is old.
I mean,
He's coaching the NFL, baby.
he's led a 4-13 team to the playoffs, so
Yeah. I mean, if
gotta
realistically,
give him credit where credit's
like,
due.
realistically, if we knew the potential and like how well Tyreek Woolen was gonna do, how well Kenneth Walker was gonna do,
the tackles.
like
Yeah, the
no one
tackles
would,
cross
no one
and-
would have said that the Seahawks were gonna be like only 4 wins. They would obviously still say that they would give them 8 and 9 or 9 and 8, like whatever. But obviously, yes, you guys are correct. Going into the season, no one thought that the Seattle Seahawks were going to be a great team. And Pete Carroll and Geno Smith proved that they belong in, a Super Bowl conversation.
And yes, I am taking Jared Goff over Geno Smith.
Okay, that's cool.
He has
I'll
7
take-
interceptions to 11 and 29 touchdowns to 30.
I'll take the Deshaun Watson lawyer over the.
If
Chicks
the
lose.
Lions defense played
Okay, we're not going to talk about
amazing
Deshaun Watson. I know he's terrible, and I wish that we still had Baker, okay? I'm starting it. Bring
Honestly,
Baker back.
Deshaun Watson's starting to heat up a little bit.
He was until he decided to throw 2 interceptions.
Yes, but like
also,
again,
Kavansky needs to get out of there because he's going to give the best running back in the league 8 carries.
you also have to realize, yeah. I mean, the Browns are another like Cowboy situation. Y'all just don't have as many stars, I guess.
Oh,
But-
no, we have plenty of stars.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
we got-
really well-rounded team.
Well-rounded roster, but whenever you got Joe Woods as a DC, who thankfully finally got fired, he decides the last three or four games of the season he's actually going to coach the defense and make them play good. And you got Kevin Stefanski over here calling, I don't know, I don't even know what they're calling, plays where Deshaun throws the other team and not run with Nick Chubb. Not really much you can do.
I have a
And-
good question. So obviously, with the Cowboys going to the playoffs, if they are a first round exit, and I'm not saying they are, but there is a high possibility just because you are playing against Tom Brady and the Bucks, and they are just now starting to heat up. Does Mike McCarthy get to keep his job?
No,
Mm-mm.
Does Kellen Moore get to keep his job?
Absolutely not.
No,
Why would you even mention
no.
that?
it's.
I'm sorry. I
think
just hate him
you're
so
gonna have
much.
a lot of.
Jesus
I,
Christ.
you're gonna have a lot of good job openings. I feel like.
I feel like
after
that-
the playoffs.
that's where the second part of the question comes in. Do you think Cowboys should go for Sean McVay or
No, Sean McVay
Sean
won't go to
Payton.
the Cowboys.
It
He's
doesn't
not
matter.
gonna
Won't get him this year
He won't get
anyway.
Sean Payton either. I don't think Sean Payton wants to. It's a tough situation in Dallas. Zeke is on a really high contract, and he shouldn't be getting
Zeke's
paid what
gonna
he's
take
being
a pay
getting
cut?
paid.
Yeah,
Zeke is gonna need to take a pay cut, or else
He even said he's
If
going to
he
offer the
doesn't-
pay cut. I'm pretty
I
sure
mean,
he
in
said
my-
he's offering the pay cut to keep Tony
Well,
Pollard.
and did Dak ever get his extension?
no,
no.
he took a pay cut already in the offseason.
Yep.
Well, still, he's just you don't know if he's the answer. Your defense is
He's not.
solid, but as soon as Dan Quinn goes to
defense
get a
is-
head coaching job this year, that is up in the air again because
But we also can't blame all the interceptions on Dak. One, because a lot of them were popped up balls, and two, you still have Kellen Moore calling these.
It
dumb
doesn't
plays.
matter. At this point, you got to accept Dak Prescott is not the future. He's not.
No.
He had one good season. He ended up getting hurt. And after that, he hasn't been the same. I mean, he missed how many games and he leads the league. He's tied for Derek Carr in interceptions. I mean, absolutely blew it against the Commanders. I
Speaking
mean,
of,
there's. And my thing here with the McCarthy thing, like Kellen Moore, he's awful. He needs to go. But McCarthy has led this team to back-to-back 12-plus winning seasons.
yeah,
Do you really fire that guy?
but
Like,
it's just
Think about
it's-
it logically. Do you really fire that guy?
who?
he just needs to
McCarthy,
get better
yes.
at time management.
Because playoff wins are what matter. That is what matters ultimately in the NFL. I would understand if the Cowboys were 4-13 and Mike McCarthy is turning them around and he's getting these 11-win seasons, these 12-win seasons, and not winning playoff games. Cowboys aren't. They have a good roster. They're supposed to be winning playoff games. And in the NFL, when you have a built roster, your job as a coach is to win playoff games. And if you're not doing that, your job is failed. And they will get someone else to do it.
I
I
agree.
agree.
That's a fair point. Fair point. But I do think it has a lot to do with Moore. I mean, his play callings are horrendous. I mean, I don't know
But
why.
Mike McCarthy is also horrible with time management.
I agree. But I mean, you could get someone to fill that role.
Like
Don't
who?
necessarily have to
Yeah, Nathaniel
get
Hackett
McCarthy.
got a clock manager.
Yeah. I mean, he was the
Thing?
intern who did better than him.
So you can hire someone that could just manage the clock, kind of like
yeah,
a
be
like a
in
guy.
the back of your ear. It's kind of like the get back coach.
Yep,
Yeah, I was about to say like
Mhm.
the get back coach.
just like it. I mean, there's things that you can do. I'm not saying that McCarthy's a good, but you got. I mean, look at it from Jerry Jones. I mean, they're winning games. And you know what winning games means? It means you're making money. Jerry Jones loves his money.
Jerry Jones does love his money.
But on the topic of coaches, can we talk about like the Black Monday? You know what Black Monday is in
Yep.
the NFL? Can we talk about
Everyone
Black
gets
Monday?
fired. Yeah,
I
we
would
can.
love to talk about Black Monday because
Let's talk about the coaching
I
carousel.
think I love it. I love it. I love coaches. You know me. I'm a big coach guy. And let's see. We got Texans job is open. Really interesting job. Let's see
Lovie
what
Smith
else.
is gone.
The Colts,
Denver.
Denver,
Denver, Arizona, also
Raiders.
GM. You have Carolina.
Carolina. I think that's the 5 that are open right now.
The
And then
Raiders.
you have a lot of coordinators.
Carolina is interesting. I just don't know. I'm trying to think. Like they've interviewed Jim Harbaugh. Sean Payton would be bad. Sean Payton's obviously on everyone's top list if he is going to coach again. I'm just really trying to think of good. Bieniemy, I know, is emerged as a good candidate. If they really
San
want,
Fran's.
I was about to say if they want to go
DC.
defense, they could go DeMarco Ryans. That's San Fran's DC. If they just want to stick with Brian Burns and Jeremy Chin and J.C. Horn and just get that thing like solid, they could. I don't think it would be a bad idea either.
Do
Plus,
you think Brian Flores deserves to get another head coaching
I
job?
think he. Why? Maybe not deserves to
DC.
just get it handed to him, but I think he should definitely like. He hasn't even got called or interviewed. I think I would.
Oh yeah, I mean I
would
agree.
definitely. I mean,
But,
if I'm like
the Browns
just-
interviewed him for DC.
the Browns, that would be my first priority. But then again, if I was Dallas, I would be in Brian Flores' hip pocket, calling him right now, saying, "Hey, Dan Quinn, there's a good chance he could leave this year. If you want to come be Dallas's DC, if you just wait a little bit till after Dan Quinn goes, I would definitely try and do that to see if you could persuade him away from the Browns. I think he should be a top candidate for a DC job. 49ers could get him after DeMarco Ryans leave. Or the Rams. The Rams DC is getting interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Lions OC we got interviewed for what job?
Oh, that was the Colts.
They interviewed both of them. I really hope the Colts don't keep Jeff Saturday.
That's a very real
Maybe-
possibility.
I know, I get it, but maybe like I just think he needs a little bit more coaching experience. I don't think he could possibly be a good coach, sure, but he's never had coaching experience in the NFL. So maybe you could keep him on the staff as O-line coach or something of that.
Something,
means, but
like,
I don't think
on
you
the
should give him a
offensive
head
side.
coaching job. I
Man,
think
no,
that-
maybe that's what he needs to do. I mean, the line was horrendous. He knows. He knows the roots.
But also like the coach job is not a bad job. I mean, you just need a solid quarterback, and that's a
Yeah.
playoff team in that division. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get a quarterback, you can compete in that division any day of the week.
I mean, it's just going to be the Jaguars the only competition. I mean, the
Mhm.
Titans have completely fell off. They just fired
Yeah.
their DC.
Mike
they-
Vrabel won't be there long.
Did they fire their GM too?
Their OC,
Yeah, they fired their GM
their OC's
Yeah, they
gone.
fired the GM.
They fired
after
him,
the
like,
Eagles. Yeah, they fired
after
the GM
the
yeah,
after
Browns
the Eagles
torched
win.
him.
Yeah, so all you got is Mike still there.
And he'll be gone soon.
I don't know about that.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
I think so. I think
Who?
Mike Vrabel.
Oh,
they're talking about
yeah.
Cliff, bringing in Cliff to the Patriots job or OC job. I like that.
That
for-
would be good,
for
especially for Mac. Yeah.
because Cliff is a quarterback developer. As much as he might not be good at calling plays or anything, but I mean, this is the guy behind Patrick Mahomes.
You
Kyler
think
Murray,
Belichick retires this year?
Mm-mm.
no,
No,
no.
definitely not.
I don't know if we'll be alive to see the day that Belichick retires.
Well, there's a lot of questions about where quarterbacks are going to go this offseason.
Well, I know if I was the Lions, honestly, what I would do is pay for Geno Smith.
The Lions?
Yeah,
Taking Jared Goff, sticking with him.
Geno's not going to be too expensive. He's going to be somewhat expensive, probably upwards of $20 million a year, somewhere
Then
around
who
there.
would the
Take-
Seahawks have?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, because guess Geno hasn't said he's going back to Seattle yet this year because he knows he's going to get free agent consideration from some teams.
Because they
There's-
wrote him off.
Like
No, I'm just-
like the Titans. The Titans would be a really good destination for Geno. Solid offense, get a good OC in there that can fit with
you think
Geno's
Ryan
system.
Tannehill would leave?
Ryan Tannehill's
Yeah,
done.
I think he's done. But people are looking at Geno playing right now, and they're like, okay, maybe it just took him this long for it to click for him. And so I think Geno is definitely going to get consideration from other teams. If I'm Seattle at 5, my first option would be Will Anderson or Quay Walker, defensive lineman. We have
Anderson will be gone by the first pick.
Yeah, you're right. The Bears probably.
Yeah, I mean, unless the Bears decide they want to go Bryce Young
Yeah,
and drop
I don't
off
know.
Fields, I mean, that'd be the worst decision ever.
But you have to go like Quay Walker, and if Quay Walker's gone, I would take C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, whoever's on the board.
I'm thinking Anderson goes 1, Young goes 2 to the Texans. I mean, that you could tell that they gave up on Mills last season, and it wasn't that he was bad. It was just they just gave up on him.
Who's 3?
Oh boy, who's 3?
Colts are 4.
Um,
Seahawks are 5. I think it's the Lions at 3 with the Rams pick.
yeah,
Lions at 3. I mean, shoosh. They would probably take a quarterback. I would imagine Bryce.
oh
Young.
Cardinals are 3.
Oh, they won't
Lions
take
are
a quarterback.
6.
Oh yeah, Seattle could definitely get a quarterback. I would imagine the Cardinals take Quay Walker with J.J. Watt retiring.
Mm-hmm.
That really sucks. And then Indy would probably take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, probably Stroud there.
That would be the worst turn of events for Seattle right there. That would be horrible. Will Anderson going 1, Bryce Young going 2, Quay Walker going 3, and C.J. Stroud going 4.
Mhm.
That would be just
You
horrible.
can. I mean, I don't know how good that interior D line is, but you could get Carter.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Or am I talking about Carter or Walker? Is it not Walker?
Which one?
For Georgia, number 88.
I don't know. There's 2 Georgia players. One's Jalen Carter.
Oh, and one's Quay Walker, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure Walker's the edge and
Well, I would just say
Carter's the
get
interior.
defense.
Dallas is saying that they're the ones who are most likely to get Bijan.
Dallas?
Yeah,
Why?
which I wouldn't mind, only because they're saying if Zeke doesn't take a pay cut, then they pay
Oh.
Bijan and they pay Pollard.
Let's have 3 starting running backs on the
that's
roster.
what I'm saying. I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, it's not just the Cowboys. I feel like a lot of teams do this where they're just like, I'm going to pick up this good running back or this good rookie running back just so he won't play behind 2 other good running backs I have.
It doesn't make any,
I
especially
don't
with
get that.
Bijan. I mean, this guy's like.
But I'm talking about if
generational.
Zeke doesn't stay.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm talking-
He's still on contract. Are they going to trade him?
I know. Either trade him or cut him if he doesn't
Cut
take
him's
that
going to be
pay
too much
cut.
money.
Yeah, I don't think they want to take
Tony
a hit.
Pollard's contract is coming up.
Exactly.
I know Pollard's is.
I'll tell you who I would get rid of.
Zeke.
No, the
What would be
quarterback.
the point of having Pollard and Bijan? They're both the same dynamic of a player.
Not really. Bijan is bigger.
They're basically the same thing. No, they're both elusive backs. Not much receiving, unless they're wide open. Then yeah, but Zeke is literally the power back, and that's what we need when we're inside the end zone.
I can't see an NFL team taking a running back in the first round. It doesn't make sense to me.
It does make. I mean, it makes sense to me if the running back is generational talent,
I mean, I guess,
like
but
Reggie Bush.
That's a second.
I would see
That's a
taking
second
this one.
round thing.
Reggie, then you got Adrian Peterson too, but
I mean, Ricky Williams, he was up there. I mean, I'm not Saquon Barkley. I mean, if the running back is truly worth it, yeah. I mean,
but I just feel like
Marshawn Lynch was picked at 10. I want to say.
yeah, it's like to me, if I'm like a GM or I'm running one of these teams, I'm going for something that I absolutely need, harder to find, like O-line, edge rusher, something that's gonna like because a running back you could put just about anyone in there. I mean, some are obviously a lot better than others, but you want a couple yards, you're probably gonna get a couple yards, especially if you have a good O-line, you know.
And we don't even
Yeah,
need
no.
a running back. But
Especially for Dallas, it just doesn't make sense to me.
we need a cornerback. That's what we need. More than
You
anything.
get something that your team actually needs, not something your team wants.
We only have Trayvon out there.
I
He's
would say we do
literally
need a
the only one.
cornerback, but I do like how Bland is playing. Like,
Well, he's
I
a
feel
safety.
like
He's not a
Trayvon.
cornerback.
Yeah.
The great thing about Seattle's secondary is shut down. Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, Quandre, Jamal Adams.
I know. That is like the Legion of Boom right there.
Yeah, no, I'll just wait until they're all healthy next year. Oh.
The only team I could really see taking Bijan would be the Bills.
Exactly. They don't even have a
Why?
running back.
Jesus,
pass-
that would
no.
be
because they would keep James Cook shows flashes, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, he
Plus,
does.
They don't run the ball enough to take a running back. That's
Well,
why they
but-
don't
but-
need a running back.
But the thing that they don't run the ball because they can't run the ball.
I mean, they can, but they love to pass the ball 50 times a game.
I
dude.
know, but like if you get a good running back like him, really opens it up, and then you get play actions. You can open the whole playbook up,
I don't know,
and I feel like it would excel Allen even more than it
I
already.
I just don't think it fits into the play style.
Make it fit. I
I mean,
mean,
their whole team is built around air raid. Isaiah McKenzie,
Diggs, Davis.
I mean, all these guys are fast,
Knox.
fast, and can catch the freaking ball.
Yeah, but then it gets predictable.
50-yard. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
when
saying,
but
you
when
know,
they're
you-
so good at it. The Bills are so good at the air raid offense. They've mastered it. It's so hard to stop them. They score 30, 40 points a game, and their defense is solid enough to stop them.
Well, if you keep on having that same style of play, a team is going to easily catch on to that. Like, I mean, yeah, you can have that for a season, but what are you going to do next
I
season?
mean,
Because
you
you're going
say
to
that, but
because you're going to go in and
Kansas
play the
City.
Chiefs. You're going to go in and play the Chiefs. You're going to do
But the
exactly
Chiefs
what you
just
did
have
last
similar
season.
offensive styles.
And then
a
the Chiefs
better
are going to catch on
defense.
because the Chiefs already know what you're going to do.
Yeah,
They know you're going to
yeah,
pass the
because
ball all over them.
but they've been running that offense before they have. So I mean, yeah, they know the offense.
But I
They
mean,
know how to
look who's the number one seed. The Chiefs are. They've been running the same
they're the
offense since
number
Patrick
one.
Mahomes
They're
has
the
been
number
there.
one seed because the Bengals and Bills game got delayed.
Okay, I understand that,
That's
but I'm
why.
saying it doesn't matter right now. They're the number one seed. I understand what happened.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
But-
of course.
they still are the number one seed. Doesn't matter. They would have been the number 2 seed, the number 3 seed, whatever it may be. They're still a top 3 team in the playoffs right now, and they've been running the same offense since Patrick Mahomes has been the starter.
Well, when you have Patrick Mahomes, it's very easy to keep running the same stuff.
It works every
He
time.
says, "Okay, well, if they're just going to figure out I throw it this way, I'm going to throw it behind my back. I'm going to throw it to
When
the
you have a
right,
coach
so-
like Andy Reid right there, I think it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to do that kind of
But
stuff.
I think it's the same way with Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. I mean, I think if realistically, if anyone's going to make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC, I think it's going to be the Bengals or the Bills, and that's going to be the matchup in the second round. So I think the winner of that game is going to win the Super Bowl, or going to go to the Super Bowl at least. I don't think the Chiefs will beat the Bills or the Bengals. Bengals are hot. I mean, you got to think about how. Do you remember how we were talking about the Bengals before the season started, or 2 games in the season,
Mhm.
3 games in the season? We were trashing on them, dude.
Mhm.
Trashing on them.
No, I mean, but before we started all this, I said the Bengals were never going to make it to the Super Bowl ever again.
Yeah,
That was
no,
one
and
shot,
they-
and I mean, they look like a Super Bowl contending team now. The O line's gotten better. The defense has gotten better. Joe Burrow's
They're
improved.
finally just putting it together. Zach Taylor's getting it done.
The only thing I would be worried about is, so I think the Bengals, if they beat the Ravens, they go all the way. But that would be what I'm worried about because their last game against the Ravens, it like scoreboard wise, it looked like they won it pretty well. But you go look at the stats, you really look into it, they kind of got beat all over the place, and Lamar wasn't playing. They got
Lamar's still not going to play, I don't think.
they got over 100 yards rushed on him. I think like almost 300 yards passed on him. I mean, they still won, but almost all the offensive starters were out and a bunch of defensive were too. So put the whole Ravens team together, and if Lamar does play, they might be in trouble. Lamar doesn't play, I think it's going to be easy walk through, and then they move on, right?
Play Buffalo if it works out that way, unless Buffalo gets beat by Miami, which I want to bring the attention to that because I really honestly think if Tua was 100% healthy that the Dolphins would walk in and beat Buffalo.
Agreed.
I completely
100%.
agree.
He's supposed to
But
get
it's-
cleared by Wednesday, but
I don't think he'll be 100%.
I don't think so
I mean,
either.
it's just Tua. Tua's obviously showed that he's a dog and he does not care how injured he gets. I don't want to. He will do whatever it takes to get taken off that field.
Mhm.
But what's sad that no one's realizing is that this is probably his last season he'll ever play football.
Tua?
No.
No, won't.
Yeah,
Okay.
Will, think about it. He's had 3 concussions. People are super concerned about him.
They won't.
The
dude,
Dolphins
they-
are already looking at getting a new quarterback, and
Who
I don't
said
think
that?
any other team's going to pick a lot of people. This has been a lot of rumors that have been going on that Dolphins
Not
already
good.
saying like, oh yeah, Derek Carr can go there, Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady, because Tom Brady wants to either go to the Raiders or the Dolphins.
Tua's
You
Mike's
also
guy.
have Tua's a great guy. I love Tua, but
No,
like
he's Mike's
that's-
guy though.
Yeah,
It's-
no,
it's Mike
like-
McDaniel.
oh.
The reason he wanted that job was Tua.
The only
And-
way Tua doesn't play is if he retires,
Or if-
but he's
yeah.
not going to because I mean, look at him. He would have already done it by now.
Yeah, I mean,
He would have already stepped away from football.
and I
This was his
think-
last season.
No, he's hungry, dude, and that's why he keeps getting back in. Plus, you just can't.
Now, I do think you should sit out the rest of the season. I don't think you should play in the playoffs.
No, I don't think he should either. But I think if he does, and if he is truly 100% healthy, I would be scared if I was a Bills fan.
I
Yeah,
mean, the
no,
Dolphins have
completely.
put up a fight against them both times, and in the snow. They've proven that they can play in the snow too.
No, I think, dude, the Dolphins are a scary team when they're 100% healthy. They're scary. What's crazy is as bad as their defense is, they're still just scary. Because Mike McDaniel says, "Oh, you scored a touchdown. Guess what? I'll score
I'll
a
score a
touchdown.
touchdown."
That's easy. I can do that all day.
Only
We
with
can-
two of
We
them.
can play this chess match. Yeah. Well, I mean, Skylar Thompson, bro, Teddy B, like,
It just
Backup
doesn't have the
quarter-
dynamic
I would
because
honest, if I was a head coach, I would probably have a very stud backup quarterback, and I would not care if I'm paying him that much money. Because if my quarterback goes down, like you can obviously tell, like, look at the Ravens. Ravens probably would have won their division if Lamar didn't go down.
would have been a fight for it
Who
that
else?
last week.
The Titans, as bad as Ryan Tannehill was playing, as soon as he got hurt and the league started having to come in and all these problems, they just dropped 6 games in a row.
7.
It's 7, yeah. I mean, like, dude, I feel like you get a good backup quarterback. It's important.
I think that's coming more and more.
Yeah, like
A
a
big
great
thing.
backup quarterback, like he was a backup quarterback last year. He starts this year now. I don't know. He was a backup quarterback for a while. A long
Oh, I think it's like
time.
is it starts with a G? Gino?
Yeah, Geno
yeah, that's the
Smith.
guy.
That's the guy. Great backup quarterback. Now look at him. Absolute MVP baller.
You think Cooper Rush would get a starting job somewhere?
You know what? They have a pretty solid backup quarterback right now too.
No,
That Drew guy.
Drew Lock. Yeah, he's good
no,
too.
he'd be solid backup quarterback. I think the Seahawks
Keep
figured
this-
it out. They just be like, okay, yeah, you go the year.
Yeah.
We got another guy.
Mhm.
Oh, you want to go to? Oh, we got another guy.
Just keep signing him. Cooper Rush, I don't think he'll get a starting job.
No.
Y'all are dumb.
Maybe if he would have played all season.
So where do you think Tom Brady lands at?
Tom Brady,
Home.
what a home. I don't think so. I don't think
You
he's
think he
done
goes
yet.
to the Raiders?
I think he wants to go to the Niners. I think that's where he wants to go.
But there's no way that happens. They have Brock Purdy, you have Trey Lance, and Jimmy G. Like,
Jimmy's done. This is last year. He's done.
I would.
okay, so where does Jimmy Garoppolo go?
Oh, that's
I would grab a handsaw and start cutting off California from the face of the United States of America if Tom Brady went to San Fran. I will not watch Tom Brady play the Seahawks twice a year. Won't happen. Won't do it.
No, I bet you Jimmy goes to Tennessee.
Ooh.
I
What
bet you
about
that's where he
Jimmy?
goes.
Jimmy to the Cowboys.
I swear, dude, if you just get a good quarterback that can hand off the freaking ball and get 17 offensive linemen and run max wing tight end sets every single play on the Tennessee Titans and run the ball with Derrick Henry, you are guaranteed 5 yards every single.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single
Jimmy
play.
Garoppolo is a
I-
better version of Ryan
No,
Tannehill.
I don't need to throw the ball. Trade the receivers for more offensive linemen. Get Quentin Johnson. Get Frank Ragnow. Get
Your
get-
wide receivers are linemen.
Get everyone. Get every single offensive lineman you can think of,
You
and
wanna-
then just let him get an offensive lineman to play quarterback.
You want to go spread? You got your offensive lineman out
It
there.
doesn't matter. I would swear.
You think-
Derrick Henry would break the carries record by week 3? He would have 336 carries in 3 weeks.
It's
He
like,
also
all
have
right,
2
Henry.
torn ACLs.
No,
by
he
week
wouldn't. No,
5.
he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would tell him to jog.
All
It'd
right,
be like,
guys.
it doesn't matter.
Where you guys are no longer part of the team, there's no defense. Y'all
No,
are
you
linemen
don't need
now.
a defense. Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Let-
Derrick
just
Henry is the
let him
defense.
jog
Yeah.
5 yards behind his 10 offensive linemen, and we'll just guess what? It doesn't matter. You won't need a defense. You'll drain the time of possession. You'll have one drive each game, and it'll be yours.
You have to have like 2.
No, I'm pretty sure.
halftime.
No, yeah, halftime.
Yeah, you
You're
got
right.
halftime,
Okay,
so
you have
you
you
got
have a
2.
mediocre defense. By
I
this
mean,
time,
you
there's.
just get a bunch of guys that you don't pay a lot of money.
Mhm.
One of them's gonna star.
I think I might get Mike Vrabel fired so I can apply for this Tennessee job. I have a pretty good vision for the team.
I mean, you just got to get a bunch of guys because there's always that one guy that like he's a star, but he just doesn't get the
I
opportunity.
bet I could trade 11 starters for Quentin Nelson right now. And I'll let him pick the 11 as long as it's not Derrick Henry.
Not Derrick Henry. You get to pick no offensive line
Mhm.
either, unless
No,
they're just
Any of them but Taylor Lewan. Don't care. All of them suck. I'm going to get all new ones. We're going to replace them. You're going to go to free agency. I'm going to spend $135 million on linemen.
Yeah, pick some defensive players. That's what they need. Jeffrey Simmons, take him.
No, I don't care. Yeah, we don't need defense. Get rid of it.
Kevin Byard, take him.
Kicker.
Trade for Tucker.
Yeah, no, it's
You don't need
win
him.
close games.
You don't need him. You don't even need a kicker. You just got Derrick Henry.
Bro, we discussed this maybe like 2 days ago.
Hey, we did. Yep. But before we get to there, how about them Cowboys?
No.
Sam Howell, what a guy. I mean, just phenomenal performance
All right.
all around.
Moving on to
Cowboys.
Super Bowl predictions.
No,
I mean, you let Sam Howell, his
Sam
first
Howell.
career start,
Man,
absolutely whoop y'all.
preach.
Boy, oh
Good.
boy.
Y'all
Hopefully it
think you're
humbles
gonna
us.
walk into Tampa and beat Tom Brady?
Hopefully that's
in the
what we do.
playoffs?
Hopefully we understood how
Come
terrible
on,
we are,
guys.
and we're like, wow, maybe
Y'all didn't even like
We didn't even try.
Dallas fans were worried about the Eagles losing. They should have been worried about themselves losing.
My goodness.
when we went into that game, I was like,
You're not a typical Dallas fan though.
We're not
You're a
winning.
Lions fan.
I knew that. I knew we weren't winning. You know why I knew we weren't winning? Because I knew exactly what was going to happen. We were not going to try because we were going to walk in there. We're going to say, "Oh man, it's Sam Howell. He's a backup. What are we going to do? What is he going to do to us? Nothing. Nope. He did everything. He did everything and more than he should have. Like I don't.
I mean, the
understand.
Cowboys
Look.
were making fun of the Eagles for losing to the Commanders, but y'all got whooped by the Commanders.
Yeah. Tell me
Molly
about it.
whopped, as I would say. I mean, I would have rather have watched the TCU
How do we beat
National
Taylor
Championship
Heineke?
game last night.
How do we beat Tanner Heilicke in like week 7 or something? Or I don't even know. But we can't beat
we beat
Sam
Carson
Howell.
Wentz. We beat Carson Wentz.
It doesn't
we
matter
played.
who we beat. It was still the Commanders.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Like it
You
wasn't.
know,
It was Carson Wentz at the time. He wasn't a backup. It was the starter.
He was the starter.
And then we
It's
just
a
let Terry
tough day to be a
do
Cowboys fan.
everything he wants to us, like we're his little rag doll or whatever.
I know, and they're gonna be forced to watch the game too.
yeah, and y'all are gonna have to watch y'all lose in the first round again.
Hey, at least they don't have home field advantage, or they're not.
Yeah, at
they're
least
not
they don't
Jerry's
have
World,
home.
so you're not gonna have that crazy stuff that's happening last year.
See,
so.
but Seahawks fans believe that they're going to beat the Niners when they lost to
Yeah.
them.
No, just this one.
100%.
I've never heard of anyone else. I mean, Pete
100%.
Carroll even knows
You
that
go-
playing the
here's the-
Niners
you
are
go-
not going to
You
win.
go walk in Seattle and ask who's gonna win. It's gonna be Seattle. And
Gage,
why?
here's the
Because you played
thing.
them
Here's the
twice.
thing.
I mean, let me look at who y'all have lost to. You've lost to the Raiders, the Saints,
You who
Did
you've
you
lost
want-
to because I think your resume loses, Mister
The Falcons.
Jags. You put the Jags in the playoffs. I want y'all to know that. Y'all put the Jags in the playoffs. No
We
one.
the
did
not
Jags
the
are a
Titans.
good team.
Not the
people
Titans.
are,
No,
pick-
don't
people
say
are
the
picking
Jags.
the Jags over the
No,
Chargers
I
right
was.
now.
I said beginning of the season the Jags were better than they looked.
I
Guess
think
I was right.
we can talk about losses all we want, but Dallas has plenty of them, and y'all just lost
Gage,
to Sam
this is-
Howell.
Gage, this is what's gonna happen, and this is what you know deep down that you want. You want the Cowboys to beat Tom Brady because you know damn well you don't want to play Tom Brady in the playoffs.
I don't want to play Tom Brady.
Who wants to play Tom
100%.
Brady in the playoffs? So you know you want the Cowboys to win, so you don't have to worry about playing Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Oh,
No,
he's not worried.
How
He's
how
losing the Niners.
how it would work out is
Exactly.
in-
You're losing
in-
to the Niners.
in the-
Everyone's losing to the
in the-
Niners. The Niners are winning the
in-
Super Bowl. I don't care.
no,
what's
that's not happening. That's
It
not
is.
happening.
Mr.
Brock Purdy
Irrelevant
has
is literally going to carry that
Mr.
whole entire
Okay,
team into the Super
this
Bowl.
playoff experience is a real thing.
It
is
is.
a real thing. Exactly.
Dak
you
has been to the
think
playoffs
Brock
30 times, but look at
Purdy is
him.
going
He still
to
loses
come
first round.
in to his first playoff game against a division rival and just be
Yep.
fine? You think Christian McCaffrey is going to come into his first playoff game and be fine?
Yep.
You think Debo Samuel's not playing, okay? And George Kittle
Doesn't matter.
historically has the worst games against Seattle when he plays them. Is they're some of his worst games. I'm not saying they're bad games. I'm saying they're his
This
worst.
man's
His
looked
worst
up every
games.
single stat.
You have the whole offense basically is unexperienced besides the O line and George Kittle. Some of these guys have never played playoff games before. Brandon Ayuk has never
Kittle is
played in an
firing
actual playoff
up
game
right
before.
now.
Actually, Debo is playing, so you know.
And I don't care if Debo's playing because you know what? We know how to
Brandon
stop
Ayuk is
Debo.
playing. He
You're
played
saying
last year.
that you're saying some of
Bates
those
can play,
people
Elijah
haven't
Mitchell
played.
can play.
You're saying
Yeah.
some of these people haven't played
I'm saying
playoff
some of the
games.
most
Look at the
important-
Bengals last year.
Oh, also,
Okay.
you got the defensive player of the year. playing against
Okay.
you.
So you got
Mhm.
okay. That's
You
fine.
don't gotta be that close to the mic.
Oh,
So-
oh my God. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is comparable to Brock Purdy.
In this case scenario, yes.
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
100%. That was
Yes.
his
I was
rookie
like-
season was last year.
No, but Joe Burrow's rookie season was not last year.
He got hurt as a rookie season, so that was technically
No, he played 5 games into it.
that's.
But you were talking
No.
about playoff experience. Joe Burrow. didn't
Yeah, and he
have
was
playoff
awful in those
experience.
5
No,
games.
yeah, but It's a. I'm,
No.
Gage, I'm gonna have to
Cowboys
disagree
fans
with
on
you.
25 years. No, no, because I
At least
can't
we
get
own
the
it.
word that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm sorry. Joe Burrow is a better
I'm proud to
quarterback
be a
last
disappointment.
year than Brock Purdy is this year.
He also played the whole
Okay,
season
and
last
if
year.
you
Brock
can't
Purdy didn't.
exactly what you just proved my point. How he has less and less experience than Joe Burrow did, so it's not a comparable.
But your argument was
All I'm
playoff
saying-
experience.
All I'm
That was
saying,
your
all I'm
argument.
saying, as a person that's played in playoff games before, and
You
And-
wait, what? Hold on, wait.
I've actually been to the playoffs
I've-
before.
I've been to the
Fun fact:
playoffs.
lost every single
hey,
time in the first round.
and playoff experience is real, bro. When you have people,
You're more than a
who
Cowboys
play
fan
the
than you
playoffs,
think.
and they are scared for everything. Especially imagine a rookie in the most important game of his life.
Gage, I
for
know why
the
we lost. I
playoffs.
know why we lost first round this year because you were on the sidelines last year, and so you didn't have the experience. That's
Yes,
what it was.
that's exactly what it
Okay,
was.
no,
That's
he's got a
exactly
good
what it was.
point because last
Yeah.
year he was on the sidelines
Mhm.
during the playoff game, but this year he was on. So if he had the playoff
Yeah.
experience, we would have gone farther. in the first
Exactly
round.
what I'm saying. So, what's Brock Purdy?
How about we make another
Here's
bet?
what I'm saying. Brock
Wait,
Purdy's
wait,
not
wait,
just
wait,
gonna-
wait.
Brock Purdy is
Football
not
right
just
here.
going
Wait,
to
wait.
walk
Wait.
into
Gage.
his playoff game and be Brock Purdy or whoever y'all
Gage.
expect this man to actually be, because he's in a
Listen.
perfect offense. Anywhere else he would suck.
Listen, so I know you haven't completed the bet from before because I still don't see a Micah Parsons jersey
Yeah,
in
you
your closet.
don't. Yep, you're 100%.
But how about we make another bet? If the Seahawks beat the 49ers, I will buy a Geno Smith jersey.
No, I don't want a Geno Smith jersey. I want you to have
No.
a jersey for someone that's going to be playing football for a long time on the Seattle Seahawks. Tariq Woolen.
K9?
If I could get a Tariq Woolen jersey, then I will.
Okay, they're the same price as the Geno ones.
Alright.
K9 jersey.
All right, there you go. That's the bet. If the Seahawks win, then I will get a Tyreek Woolen jersey.
Just remember the last time this happened. Whenever I haven't bought a jersey yet, but
All right, yeah. So Jaden, we were talking about this the other day.
Mhm.
We're gonna start with Coach of the Year. Gage and Tristan, I want to know what y'all have. Jaden and I, we got really heated argument over this.
We
Two-
kind
two
of came
minutes.
to a little bit of an agreement.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
after the Lions Packers game, it's kind of set now.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I have my top three. I mean, either one of these guys deserves it. Okay.
I think Brian Dable should win.
Yes, that's why
He was part of the
in there.
conversation, but
Brian
Mhm.
Dable, and then Dan Campbell deserves it just as much as anyone else. And then if Pete Carroll's not in the conversation, you're crazy. You're crazy.
What about Doug Peterson?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doug
well,
Peterson's in
yeah.
it too. There's a lot of good coaches. There's a lot of good coaches that deserve this award. Nick Sirianni does not deserve this award for winning 14 games.
I completely agree.
I don't think he just deserves this
I
award
mean,
for winning 14
th-
games. Don't get me wrong, he's a good coach, but
Yeah.
this is for the
He-
coach of the year. This is for the coach that did things that were not supposed to happen and turned the football team into something that they were not. And the Eagles
He's
are
a good
football team.
coach, but the only reason they're thinking about giving him the award is because he's on his third string quarterback,
Yeah,
technically.
I get
But
that.
that's like any quarterback can be freaking amazing with that team with a crazy good defense and an extremely good.
Well, but I think
running game.
I think that the last couple of games of the regular season showed that the system doesn't necessarily work that way. I mean, I know Micah Parsons decided he wanted to say that is it the system or Hurts. I think we all know it's Hurts.
this hurts.
It's. I mean, you can say
You
oh,
need
any
Hurts.
quarterback's going to succeed, but
No.
not. And that's not a systematic team. That's
The
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I was
team.
about to say the system is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you go to the Seahawks, it's a little different. Like
That is a systematic.
that's a
team.
systematic team. You put Drew Lock in there, he's not. I don't think he's going to be as good as Geno,
No, but he's not gonna do bad.
but he's not going to. He's still going to succeed. So
Yeah.
You have a great offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron.
I think the reason he doesn't deserve that award is because they were expected to do good. Now I will say that they exceeded
yeah, they did.
expectations.
Mhm.
But whenever you have that much talent around a team, you're destined to win. Now you go over to the Lions and you got Jared Goff as your quarterback, and you have I don't even know who they got at receiver. I can't think of it right now, but you do have a good running back, and then an awful defense.
Amon
I
Ross
mean,
St. Brown.
oh yeah, you got. But I mean, he really didn't exceed expectations
No,
this
he
year.
didn't.
He
Maybe,
underperformed,
yeah.
if anything. I
Oh,
mean, he
that's
was a good
crazy.
receiver, but he wasn't anything like last year.
But I think if you want to hear a name, I think who I think deserves to win it is Dan Campbell, who I think will win it.
I'm taking Peterson. I mean,
think
he brought
Peterson will win it.
the
I think-
worst
I
to
really do think-
first.
I want Dan Campbell to win it. I think Peterson will win it though.
And Jay and I got really heated on this because he's Lions fan, but I do agree Campbell should be in the conversation. But Doug Peterson took the worst team in the league to winning the division. They started off awful, had an absolute turnaround. He's developed Trevor Lawrence into a great quarterback. I mean, he's taken a bunch of nobodies at receiver, turned them all into Pro Bowl caliber players.
Technically, if you want to talk about taking the worst team in the league to one of the best, I mean, at one point in the season, the Lions were 1-7 and tied for the worst record in the league with the Texans. So technically, Dan Campbell did bring the worst team, not the first, but
no, I agree.
close.
But my argument was this is Campbell's second season. This is Peterson's first.
Yeah.
So you Campbell already like Doug Peterson. He came in, took Urban Meyer's complete disaster of a team, flipped it around, made moves in the offseason, got Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. Who else? I mean, they picked Trayvon Walker with the first pick, and they completely flipped this team around in the halfway through the season. Evan Ingram took a whole bunch of guys who have talent but were never used properly. Obviously,
Evan Ingram did horrible with the Giants, and no one thought he was going to be good. And then
I know.
Look at him this year.
Same with Christian Kirk. I mean,
When
whoever thought that guy was gonna?
They asked him about if he was going to put Evan Ingram at wide receiver because he might as well be, but he said if he puts him in wide receiver, then he's going to have to start paying him wide receiver money. So that's why he wants to keep him at a tight end.
I mean, he's done so good at tight end this year, though. He's phenomenal.
He's an extremely fast and good tight end.
They were 3-7, and they ended up 9-8, winning the division. I think if the Lions made the playoffs, Dan Campbell would be my guy, but.
And the Lions would win the Super Bowl. I wish I could have seen the Lions against the Niners so bad.
That would be.
Me too.
I have so much more faith in them.
I mean, that defense is just. I mean, that Lions defense is not too hot though. They've definitely.
They've gotten better.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better, especially Kirby Joseph.
And Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes, Hutchinson too. At the beginning of the season, he over pursued so much in that backfield, but he has really gotten it down to a art at this point. He's excelled very well. But no, Gage made a really good point with Brian DeBall. He definitely deserves to be in that conversation.
100%.
I mean, he is.
Because in my opinion, Daniel Jones sucks. And
you mean Brian Campbell?
No, Brian DeBall.
Brian DeBall.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I was lost for a second.
I mean, who thought the Giants were going to go to the playoffs?
Gage did. Gage at the beginning of the year said
the
Giants were going to be actually really good. And
I think Gage
we all disagreed.
They were 6-1. They was looking pretty good. I mean, Seattle.
The only reason we didn't think that was because, of course, we thought Saquon was just going to get injured within the first week again.
No, I trusted Brian DeBall and the way he could turn an offensive player into a superstar. It's what he did in Buffalo with Josh Allen, and he did it again by refurbishing Saquon Barkley.
All right, let's move to the MVP award now. I feel like there's really only three real.
I think there's only one real option. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't win it, then who should win it?
Joe Burrow, I guess.
Jalen
Hurts.
But I mean, here's the thing with Hurts is like, if they really did it, well, no, I don't even think he's the most valuable player. I mean, take Patrick Mahomes out of that Chiefs team, they're not. They have a losing record.
What about JJ? Justin Jefferson for the Vikings.
I think he's the offensive player of the year locked.
Oh yeah, no, definitely offensive player of the year, but it's not. It's a quarterback review. It's a quarterback.
It's a quarterback. You know? I mean, if it wasn't, I feel like JJ should be
in the conversation 100%. Yeah. I mean,
because if you take him out,
if he finished it off better.
Well, if you take JJ out of the offense, what are you going to do? I mean, you got TJ Hawkinson and you got Adam Thielen, so I mean, it's not like and you got KJ Osborne, so I mean, it's not bad, but like
and Dalvin Cook,
but he was not doing too hot like towards the end. But you take JJ out.
I think if JJ performs better at the end of the season, like the Packers game specifically, then yes, he's definitely in it. But I think we all know what happened there.
Yeah,
it wasn't too pretty for.
Well, Jar Alexander. I mean, he's just locked down. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean,
you locked him down. Did he not?
No, I mean,
Every
whenever
once in a while
whenever
he
you got
locks
two,
him
whenever you
down.
got two guys following a guy around the field, and not
Well,
too
yeah.
hard to lock him down.
But like, I mean, lockdown's lockdown in that game. I mean, you can't hate it or you love it. I don't know. Who won that game? The Packers won that game.
but
Packers
that,
did
yeah, I
exactly
think
what they needed to do in that game, and that was to double
Yeah.
team JJ, and they did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, no, yeah. But no, I think JJ is definitely offensive player of the year, and then you got Mahomes for MVP. I mean, the only other person I would think for offensive player of the year maybe would be Josh Jacobs,
Josh Jacobs. Oh yes.
but
Wait,
he's still didn't.
what about top 3 for offensive player of the year?
Tyreek Hill, Justin
Jay
Jefferson,
Jettis,
Josh Jacobs.
Josh
Tyreek.
Jacobs,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
defensive player of the year I think is where it's going to get interesting.
Nick Bosa, Michael
Well, I
Parsons,
think-
Miles
I think
Garrett.
towards the end we kind of all settled in, because that like towards like the beginning and even like halfway towards the end, I was so set on Micah, and then he just kind of fell off. I don't know what happened.
I think it'll be Nick Bosa.
I think so too.
It's
That
gonna be Nick
amazing
Bosa.
season.
If it's not Nick Bosa, I'm gonna be really shocked, and I would only see why they would pick Micah over Nick, just because of the beginning, middle, and maybe a little bit towards the end. That would be
The
the
only
only reason.
reason Nick Bosa deserves the award, but I mean, at the same time, for Micah, it's such a different story because they move him around so much, and he did kind of fall off towards the end. Not gonna lie, but I think he's still one of the best defensive. He's top 3 defensive players in the
100%.
league right now.
Well, without a doubt.
But yeah, I think it's just with how many times Micah keeps moving. He if he stayed in one position, I'm sure he could get a bunch of sacks, but that's not what they use Micah for. They have him in so many spots because he's such a threatening player. But yeah, I do agree that Nick Bosa should win that award.
Yeah,
He has had himself a year.
yeah, I agree.
And on these last 3 awards, I like to call these the Seahawks sweepstakes.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes, this is Ken Walker's Offensive Rookie of the Year award. This is Tariq Woolen's Defensive Rookie of the Year award, and this is Geno Smith's Comeback Player of the Year award. Seattle
I would say
Seahawks
Saquon.
sweepstakes. No, that is ridiculous.
Who?
Saquon, I get what he did. He did amazing things this year. Whatever. He's done it before. What's he coming back
Not
from?
Nah, I'm taking Geno for comeback,
Dude,
but
come
for
on.
defensive player, I'm taking Sauce
You're
Gardner.
tripping.
No. I don't agree with it, but that's what the league's gonna do. Watch it happen. That's
I
what's
think
gonna do.
that is stupid, and I think Tariq Woolen easily deserves that.
I agree that he
Is it
deserves
that
it, but
word?
I guarantee you they're taking Sauce there.
And I think Ken Walker, especially how he closed out the season with 300 or 100 plus rushing yard games, I think it's got to be him. Plus, Garrett Wilson had one good game against that Dolphins, but other than that, in his last 5 games, he really didn't do a lot.
Yeah, no, I think
I think it should be the Seahawks sweepstakes, deservedly. Not even being biased.
I think it's Ken Garrett. Honestly, I think Brock Purdy's not gonna win it, but I think he made a really good case.
No,
for
he'll be
himself.
top 3. He'll be in there with Ken and
He did make a really good case for himself. you
Ken
know.
and Garrett.
I think he starts the season, he might pull it off. But
hmm
But yeah, that's all for the awards. Now, Tristan, let's move on to the underachievers, overachievers. Let's start with underachievers. So, who do you have, Tristan?
Raiders,
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid one. I think the Broncos are right next to them.
Broncos, Raiders, Cardinals,
Colts.
Rams,
Rams.
Rams.
Titans.
Yeah.
I would say they underachieved.
I think they just
were
had a bad
definitely-
season.
I think they were definitely supposed to win their division pretty
Yeah.
well handily.
Completely agree there.
I think someone said the Colts.
Yeah.
I know I was pretty high on the Colts.
Yeah, I was too. I thought they would win the division.
I've
I've
Yeah,
always
They
thought the Colts are
decided
trash.
not to.
The entire NFC South
Facts.
Oh yeah,
that was horrible.
Yep. I'd say
Tom
Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I would say Green Bay.
Green Bay was warming up at the end, but I mean,
too late.
Would you say the
too
Dolphins?
little, too late.
Considering their
I
I
wouldn't say they underperformed. I just think they
You
got
would say
injury
they-
riddled. I just think they got lucky.
they literally injuries literally just killed them.
so you
I
would
think,
say
yeah, I think
they
just
they
got
kind of
lucky.
were in the middle. They didn't really meet expectations, but they didn't really underachieve.
think they met expectations.
I was
would say
just
they
so
did.
happy that the
I'm
Dolphins
in the
beat
middle
the
for them.
Jets
With the
because-
injuries, yes.
Think the Jets underperformed?
No.
Yep.
I do.
No.
In my opinion, I thought the Jets could have made
Once the
playoffs. I
Jets
also
get a-
was high on Zach Wilson.
Once the Jets get a good quarterback, they're a terrifying team.
No, and that's also what I was saying about if you put Geno back in New York.
Mm,
Completely different story.
Well, yeah.
I think so.
No, I'm saying from what happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Garrett
Ooh.
Wilson has a quarterback.
Like Jimmy Garoppolo in New
I
York.
just am not high on Jimmy G.
I mean, he's a
proven
playoff
winner,
quarterback.
though.
Yeah,
he's a proven winner.
I mean, I don't like the guy.
And I like proven winners.
I wouldn't take him personally. I'd test my luck with a rookie, or I don't know, maybe stick with Wilson. But
If I would definitely no, never mind. I was gonna say you could maybe look at Max Duggan, but I don't think Max Duggan's a very good quarterback.
I like him.
Especially after not after last night.
Yeah, but you also have
can't
to look at what
perform
he
in the
did.
spotlight.
He also,
I get what he did. Yeah,
He
but
took one of the worst teams to like a championship.
Natty, yeah, it doesn't matter like
That's-
the result. Like everyone's saying,
It's like
Yeah.
taking out Joe Burrow just because he lost the Super Bowl. No one was gonna say that.
No, it's different though
Yeah, it's
because
a
he's
little
not playing NFL teams. You're playing the whole Big 12, and Georgia's playing the SEC, and the SEC is 10 times better.
the
than
thing
Big
is
12.
with Duggan is like I understand they made it, but go look at the regular season. Look how many of those games they shouldn't have won.
He threw a lot of picks too. To close out the season, I want to say he threw like 7 picks in the past 4 quarters he was playing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Well-
know if you would take a shot on him.
Well,
I mean,
it's the Big 12 title. I don't understand how they even made it in the first place. Like,
I don't know about that Georgia
it's-
game. I mean, the TCU
Yeah, no,
Michigan
I
game
think-
was good.
That was a great game. I was.
That was the
so hard.
Ohio State Georgia
That was
game.
the championship game, right
Yeah,
there.
it should have been. I mean, dude, no, I don't because I think if
I wanted Ohio State TCU. That's what I wanted.
no, I
No,
just
I
wanted,
I
wanted
wanted
Georgia.
Ohio State, TCU too.
I
as a
like
Tech
Georgia.
fan, I hate TCU.
And they should TCU should. I mean, Ohio State should have gone, but freaking their kicker decided to have a Greg the Leg moment. So
even if
they,
Marvin Harrison didn't get hurt,
Yeah,
I think Georgia would have lost by a touchdown
I
or
think
two.
so too.
also who is the Tampa Bay? Not Tampa. The Washington Commanders kicker.
I don't know.
Not a big fan.
All I know is that if y'all were watching, did anyone see that he missed 3 in a row in the
I
very
was-
beginning
I
of
was
the
watching
game?
Seattle clinch a playoff berth.
I don't know. I would just like to include him into the bozos of the week list.
Bozos of the week. Is that a new segment? Bozos of the week.
Yeah, we should.
Please even make that a new segment.
Why? Bozos of the week. Yes.
Yeah, Bozos of the
Yes.
week. We'll start that.
Cowboys
Next
number
week.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, TCU,
The whole-
Cowboys,
yeah. The entire
The
Commanders
team.
kicker. All of Texas.
Yeah.
Give me,
The Texas basketball team. Bozo.
yeah.
Just-
give me
just
Chris Barrett on Bozos of the week.
Besides the Mavs.
Even the Mavs, as of late, they're kind of being
No, give me.
stupid.
They're in the number 4 spot.
Everyone besides Luca. Then
Even
my
Luka.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Why is Christian Wood still not starting? What's happening? What is this?
All right.
what-
We're,
what-
we're,
we should get
we're
this-
veering away.
This isn't basketball. I had to break it
Okay,
to
I'm
you.
sorry, but like, if you're a Mavs
so,
fan, you're gonna understand the issue with that. But anyways,
so you said we're doing under and overachievers. So when you
Yeah,
say
we gotta do
overachievers,
overachievers.
Yeah, let's do overachievers.
Seahawks, whatever, get out of the way, and then
Love it. Love to hear it. Lions,
definitely the Eagles,
Lions,
Giants.
Eagles, Giants,
Eagles, Giants.
for me,
I'd
it's
say even the
just 'cause we're gonna
Commanders.
say the
Jags.
Definitely the Jags.
Commanders.
Commanders.
me,
I don't know about Commanders.
Give me the Cowboys. I'll say it. I thought
Yeah,
they were going to
yeah.
win 7 games.
expectation, honestly.
Yeah, I'm taking them as met.
Well, you know me. I always have the bottom low standards.
I'm taking
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
no.
That's one that exceeded.
Yeah.
No,
true.
everyone thought the Cowboys weren't going to do this good this year because when we lost Coop, we lost Tyron Smith in the very beginning. Everyone thought Tyler Smith was going to be
Well, I don't think-
garbage.
I don't think people thought we were going to do
I was
that.
thinking 6
I don't
wins
think anybody
max.
really wrote us off like that. I think they still
A
said,
lot of-
yeah,
a lot-
yeah.
I wrote
Stephen
it
A.
off. I wrote it
Stephen A.
completely off.
literally in the beginning was like,
Well,
"Yeah,
that's
Cowboys
Stephen
are
A.
winning like
Stephen A.
maybe."
is literally the biggest Cowboy hater in all of.
He's also
NFL.
the biggest Cowboys
I would
fan
like to
ever.
debate for that.
You can debate all you want, but literally you can't argue against Stephen
I
A.
bet I hate
Gage-
the Cowboys more than Stephen A.
I
hates the Cowboys.
highly doubt that, Gage. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm taking Cincy as one as well. I didn't think they were going to go 12-4.
No, I think they met expectations.
I think they
I had
met
them more like 10 and
expectations.
7. There's definitely a lot of teams that
The
met
Ravens met
expectations.
expectations.
I think the Texans overachieved. 2 wins is a lot for them.
That's more.
3 actually.
Isn't that more than
Yeah.
last year?
Impossible.
Yeah, I think they won 2 last year and they won 3 this year.
Texans,
That-
hats off to you.
You get recognized.
And they only won away games.
Oh. Mm.
Not a big home
Wow.
team.
they
They said we don't need
tied
home field
at
advantage.
home. They tied at home.
They said home field advantage. What is that? We love away games. It's our favorite.
And we love giving away number 1 picks. It's
Yes.
Man,
absolutely
that
beautiful.
last game against the Colts, that was really a tank off right there.
I was
you see
so
you see
mad.
the
I was
Colts
like, what are
player
they doing?
make his teammate fumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
That was awesome.
What's
I was
happening?
they were tanking hard there.
The Tank Bowl.
It was hilarious. I was like, Texans, y'all are supposed to be losing right now.
It's
And
okay.
you're not
I'm
doing that.
I almost watched Seattle choke away their playoff berth to the Los
Baker
Angeles
Mayfield.
Rams. It was horrible, dude. I was sitting there. I'm just watching. Jason Myers goes out there.
Seahawks.
46-yard field goal.
happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it. Yeah, I wouldn't have been on this podcast this week. Wouldn't have been at school this week. It would have been horrible.
You know, Baker almost hit Jefferson wide open, and then I don't even know. He came out of nowhere.
Quandre, because that's who
Yeah,
that man
Quandre.
is.
He came out
That
of nowhere.
boy.
Jefferson wide open.
Everyone was like, "Why is Quandre a Pro Bowler? Why is Quandre
So
a
we
Pro
could
Bowler?"
just
Ever
agree
since
that
he's
the
got
Rams should have
picks.
won.
No, what? No, because we won. Quandre Diggs is that
See,
guy. We went
That's
down and
why.
kicked the
That's
game
how
with
I
him.
know that they're not even going to compete with the Niners.
We are going to compete with the
No, you're
Niners.
not gonna
Yes,
Y'all
we
are
are.
struggling with the
I love to
Rams.
hear it. I love to hear it. Hey, buddy, you don't get to talk about who we get to struggle with.
Don't talk to
Mm-mm.
me.
Nope. Mm-mm. We can struggle with whoever we want. We win those games. You struggle with Sam Howell. You struggled with the college quarterback.
The Cleveland Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals. That's all I care about.
You struggled against Derek Carr.
So I mean, technically, the Browns should be like the division leader. 'cause
Yeah, like
we
4
blew
seed.
we blew the Bengals out. So
Struggled against Andy Dalton.
We lost against Andy Dalton.
I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Andy Dalton, he's a guy right there.
He's a guy.
That man's the most
got that-
beautiful ginger I've ever seen.
He's got that nice beard going.
Cooper.
Nah.
No.
Andy Dalton is gorgeous.
He's a
He's like a-
majestic.
It's the red
He-
rifle we're talking about here, guys. Not
Yeah,
just any.
guys,
Not just
put
any.
some
not
put
just
some
any-
respect
yeah.
on his name.
It's Andy Dalton. Okay.
You know what? Y'all are on the
Cincinnati legend.
bozos of the week list.
Yeah. No. I'm getting a little upset. Even that losing to Andy Dalton was a bad thing.
Well, I mean, well, bring it back in. No.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're so excited to finally be back, and we will be back throughout the playoffs, and then we'll have to figure out what goes on from there. Thanks for tuning in. We will talk to y'all next week.